I probably squat, bench, and deadlift. Those would be the first lifts I do, where those are like the last lifts I started getting into, just to build that foundation.
Yeah, we were talking about Mike Metz earlier today because it was I was around during his time, and got to be able to watch him and talk to him for a decade, and see how he trained people like Aaron Baker, Dorian, and others. Yeah, great approach. Again, I think the wisdom that you have now, being at 41 and been in the trenches for, almost 20 years, that you've learned what works for your body.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Mostly.
Yeah, it's pretty much trial and error. People always ask, why do you do this? Why do you do that? I mean, I've done everything under the sun, from supplementation to food to training to, new weight gainer shakes or all these gimmicks. I've done pretty much everything. So now over the years, it's like, okay, a more simple approach, not pushing the envelope all the time, and, training smart. I've torn both biceps, so I can't really train. I mean, I still curl 100-pound dumbbells and stuff like that, but it's not like it used to be. I mean, I used to be 150-ton dumbbells. I used to be crazy, like crazy stuff, like crazy lifts. But so now it's just, getting older, I guess. I'm trying to fight age with quality reps and clean diet. I can't.
Best way to put it. Best way to put it, man. Fully understand that concept. Anything else you want to add? Because I think the great thing about you is that you continue to show the intelligence of weightlifting and how to do it. And I know that we can get away with so much as youngsters, like we were just talking about, how you ate as a youngster to put the size on, and you can get away with a lot of it as a youngster. What would you tell your young self besides the eating? Would you tell them anything else when it came to training and doing things?
Probably have a more set approach. Even now, I don't really have an approach. I don't have a leg day. I don't have an arm day. I just go in there and train. I probably have more of a structure. I probably squat, bench, and deadlift. Those would be the first lifts I do, where those are like the last lifts I started getting into, just to build that foundation. I probably work out more like a power lifter. If I was younger, just to get that base. So I know a lot of power lifters, when they transition to bodybuilding, their squat, their deadlift, they're in that groove. A lot of bodybuilders are squatting and deadlift. They're all out of whack because we're just not used to the repetition and doing it over the years. So I would probably say just compound lifts. I would do a lot more, and probably I'd probably get social media before I did, because my prime in terms of my lifts and the crazy stuff I used to do was before I even had social media. It was probably like when I was 30, So it was like I've been doing it for 4 years in this area, and people knew about me at the gyms, but no one knew who I was. So if I could go back in time, I'll get that social media 4 years earlier so they could see all the crazy stuff I used to do. Because now
I think the kids today, I hope you guys are taking advantage of free advertising, because that's what social media is. It's free advertisement. And it confused me. You're still a youngster. You're 41, but what confuses me is a lot of guys from my era. And I'm curious on this because you just kind of said it. They don't feel that they need social media because they won the shows. They won the big titles and did all this. So their badge of honor should represent their fame. And the one thing that I've always said to anybody and everybody, when it comes to health and fitness, you're as good as your last show, and you've got to use the free advertisement and be humble enough to go, you won. But these kids' personalities are so high level and so fun to watch that the person that's never competed will get 10 million followers compared to the guy that competed and won shows who has only 50,000 followers. So what's your advice to social media and advertising if you're trying to build a brand in your name?
More content, the better. I know people get, once people get in the routine, even when people don't really watch TV anymore. But when I was a kid, it was like all these sitcoms come in, you just have to watch every week. I would just say, steady content, do something that other people aren't doing. And not everybody can talk and have a personality on camera, but everyone has a camera. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times you'll see people they're trying to sell a product, and they'll be talking, hey, you could buy this. Like, not everyone can do that. So you don't necessarily have to have the voice of a commentator or a radio host just to make videos. Sometimes people actually just want to see you. So if you don't have the voice, play some music and just show people what you're doing. People want to see what you're eating. They want to see they want to see how you eat. It's crazy. Like, people want to see the weirdest things. The younger the crowd, the more they know. So, I mean, I'm not going to say copy what other people are doing, but see what's getting other people's clicks, and then just, kind of doing that same thing. But the most random stuff gets the most views. I mean, you could set up a photo shoot with a tripod and the lighting and the topics and the perfect pump and the sun and all this, and get half as many views as you'll get when the phone's crooked, you're in your kitchen cracking some eggs at 4 a.m, and it's like the audio's off. So, I mean, you'd be surprised what people actually like. But just stay in the mix. Like, you can't make, I'm not going to say you can't make it in bodybuilding now, but I don't know any top level bodybuilders that don't have a social media influence. If they do, even like Hadi Chupa, he won the Olympia. I haven't seen this guy. When Big Ramy won the Olympia, where was he at? So even those guys, they win the Olympia. If their content isn't there, they slowly fall off. So even if you could win the Olympia, if your content isn't valid and steady going, people lose interest.
Yeah, it's a whole new world. We got to change with the times. The kids want to see it. Social media is a beautiful thing, man. Thanks for taking time today, Drew.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. Yeah, no
I appreciate it. I know it was a crazy day for you and stuff, but I just wanted the world to meet you, or at least my fans to meet you.
I appreciate it. Shout out to all the Michael Herner Titans out there.
And we will see you, I think, here. My whole team will get to see you and meet you in person here in another, I guess, 4 or 5 weeks here.
Yeah, 4 or 5 weeks. November 2nd to the 5th at the Olympia. We'll be at the Titan booth, Titan Medical all day, every day. That's the reason I'm staying healthy right now. So I appreciate them. I appreciate you. And yeah, we're going to maybe get some content out there too. At the booth.
We have to lift.
You were
the nastiness about lifting got me all excited. Sorry.
Yeah. I love it. Let's do it.
All right, man. Thank you, Drew, again. I appreciate your time.
All right, Mike. Have a great day. Thanks a lot.
Bye, buddy. Man, what a good cat. What a good cat. And again, I got to meet and hang out with him. And so when I mean this guy was working, him, John, they didn't stop. They don't stop. They work. But it's a fun work. They love what they do. They love the industry they're in, and you can see it. And I will bring Drew back, and I got to get some training with this monster. I got to. You guys know I absolutely love training with guys that just get nasty in the gym and want to get into it. So I'll definitely do that. But as long as we're on here for a second, let me do some questions here